Hey, YouTube, it's Goddess. I'm Galaxy here, and I'm doing a review for Belle Collective Season 3, Episode 3. And it starts off with Latrice talking about the fact that she forgot to tell her husband, Cliff, that she was going for drinks with Mandy and that Josh was going to be there. So she forgot. So he looked at her location. Her location was still on her phone. So that's how he basically found out where she was, and that's how he came to come there. So she like when he was in there, like he was sitting with them or sitting near them, and she's saying how Latrice is saying how she feels like a child when her husband's with her, like like a girl that goes to prom or goes on a date and she has a chaperone. That's how she was feeling with her husband coming. And I can't stand that she keeps calling this man daddy and stuff. It's so freaking annoying. Like, girl, just call that man your husband or Cliff or whatever your nickname is for that zaddy thing is so freaking like uncomfortable and nasty sounding. Like, girl, ugh. You don't got anything like more better to call your husband than it? Ugh, so lame. Girl, cannot. And then she was talking about how she grew up with her mom being married and how her dad used to be very aggressive and in her face, and like that. So that's why she deals with the way her husband treats her, the verbal abuse and like the way he was grabbing on her and stuff last episode, because she's already seen that with her mom. And like she says, her mom is a strong woman, so she wants to be like her mom, and she's strong. And that even though she takes certain things that nobody else would take from their husbands with the verbal abuse and the way he makes her feel, like she loves her husband, so she just feels a way, about it. So she's sitting with Mandy and with Josh, and then she's like whispering to Josh or whatever, because Josh started speaking to Cliff, but Cliff was like, nah, I'm all good. He really didn't want to talk. So then Latricia's like whispering, saying, Cliff ain't really trying to talk right now. He mad at you, Josh. And then he was like, what? Why are you mad at me for? And I'm just like, Josh, you don't remember all the things you've been saying about him? You know that they tape it, right? So 9 times out of 10, the camera crew probably showed him what you were saying about him. And the fact that you do live in their home, he might hear you sometimes when y'all are having conversation. He might be eavesdropping. You never know when because they do have a house and you do live there, and when she's in her separate bedroom, he could sneak up on y'all while y'all talking and hear you talking about it. But 9 times 10, the camera crew probably told him. Production, you know how that is. Probably told him what you were saying, so that's probably why he mad at you, quote unquote. And then the way you were talking about him, any husband would kind of be mad about that, to be 100, because even though it's true, when you have a friend that's going through things like that, because I had a friend like that before, plenty of friends that were going through kind of verbal abuse situations with this and that, I do not get involved. I do not say all this mean things about the guy, because like I said, that's to them. They choose the person, so they have to deal with it. So for me, I am a listening ear, because that's your job as a friend. Your job as a friend, Josh, just not to ridicule her and talk about him like a dog and be like, oh, you need to leave him, girl. He a piece of garbage. She already know what it is. She wants to stay, so you have to allow her to be ready to move on and leave. You can't be talking out the side of your neck and saying the things that you're saying, because you kind of are going a little bit far. Like, it's like me, I have had friends that have done that, and I didn't go far, because at the end of the day, I know how it is when people think they're in love, or they're in love and they're in a situation where it's verbally abusive like that, and the guy is grabbing up on them or hitting on them or whatever it may be. You don't get involved. You don't say nothing too crazy about the guy. You just say, I just, care about you, and I'm just worried about you, your safety, and I just want you to be safe, and I love you, and I'm just here to listen. That's your only job, Mr. Josh. Josh, you be too extra, and you be giving it too much. And he was still doing too much this episode, talking about in a confessional, saying that she was vibrant, which she probably was, because she was able to do as she pleases. And then Josh says, he babysits her and things like that. And he says since she's been married, she's definitely changed. And even Mandy had to agree that it's not healthy what they're happening. And then Latrice is like, they're saying he's controlling, and as friends I understand what they're saying, but she can't go life, like basically she was saying she can't go life with her husband being like this. And it's the truth though. Like, you should be able to go out and have drinks with your friends and be fine, and your significant other shouldn't have to need to be all on top of you, around you, because they have insecurities and they think that you're like, they have a control problem, and because they have the insecurities and control issues and fear of you leaving them and stuff, because that's what it seems like. Because why else does he need to follow you everywhere like a dog and attach yourself to you everywhere you go? It's just like, really, sir, it's a little bit much. Like, that's why I can't do the marriage thing, because some people, when they get married, like, they feel like you they property, and they could do what they want. They could pop up on you and follow you everywhere and stuff. I don't have the time or the patience to be treated like I'm somebody's property, or I am somebody's like personal like pet or animal or what have. Like I'm your spouse, I am your partner, and I have rights just like you as a human being. That if I want to go out with my friends, I granted I understand him being a little upset, maybe because he wanted to know where you are, because you were out at night and he just wanted to see you safe. But my thing is, your location was on, so him acting like that was a little bit above and beyond for me. Like, oh, what is you doing, sir? Like, you're going above and beyond. Okay, calm it down. Take a chill pill. Take a shot. Let's stop. Okay, you're doing a lot, Mr. Flip. I understand you're controlling because you don't want your young girl to leave you, because she's very young and she is very beautiful, and you're lucky to have her, and you don't want to lose her. But the controlling needs to stop, sir. It needs to stop. Next scene, So Gucci and her husband are outdoors drinking wine and everything, and they're chilling. And So Gucci's daughter came by with the grandbaby, and then his daughter Star is there. And then JJ is very upset. He found out his daughter was married and pregnant online and not from her. So he said he is hurt. And so Gucci's like, the girls are bonding, that now that they have something in common, because she's pregnant and she's having a baby now, that they have something in common, so everything is copacetic. So Gucci said Star and her dad gotta talk. And the ex-wife is basically, JJ saying that the ex-wife is very jealous of So Gucci, and she's just, he feels like she instigates the daughters to basically do that, like hide it from him and not tell him. And my whole thing is, why would your ex be instigating or telling your daughters not to tell you something? I don't believe that. Maybe they just don't feel comfortable telling you, because a lot of times dads will think in their head that they're the best dads in the world, and their daughters are so close to them, and their daughters are this and that with them, and they're such great dads, and they do all of this and all of that. And then you come to speak to the daughter, and she's like, nah, that's not what it is, Dad. Sorry. In your universe, you might see it that way, but in the reality, it's not. So I'm thinking that the daughters probably didn't tell him because they scared to tell him, because he might have went crazy. Because a lot of dads, when they have daughters, or period, just with daughters, they are very more overprotective, and they want the guy to be a certain way, and they want the guy to be the way they want him to be, and they kind of want to control the situation, like they control who their daughter is with and all this other jazz. And my whole thing is, you don't have control of your daughter, and at a certain point, your daughter is grown. You cannot control if she gets married, who she with, who she not with, and the overprotective stuff becomes overbearing depending on how overprotective and controlling you are as a father. Trust me, I grew up with an overprotective dad, and he thought that that's why I never tell him nothing. And just how she didn't tell him if I got married or was with whatever, I don't think I would be secretive and just get married to the guy and all this other stuff. But when you want to tell my dad, he goes things overboard, and he's kind of like really pushy and stuff. So it might be how her dad is, so I can understand. So I don't know, but I got dressed. Okay. So basically, JJ saying that he has to find out stuff last minute. He feels like the guy was supposed to, basically he talks with her, and he just saying that he feels like the guy was supposed to ask for her hand, and that he wanted to be there and be at the wedding, and how he missed out, and he just really doesn't feel like that was right. And then Star was like, the reason why she didn't tell him is because she didn't know how he was going to react. And she was scared of his reaction because of the way he is with her. So my whole thing is, see what I said? See what I said? Dads always see it one way, how they are as parents to their children, and then their child would say the total opposite. So it's just like, Dad, you saying one thing, but look at how it is. Okay, Dad, it ain't the way you said. It ain't the way you said. Okay. So then next scene is Dee talking with her mom. And she was just talking with So Gucci, and she just saying, Mom, he just found out about, her getting married and then the baby. And then Dee was just saying he is controlling and they can't talk to him. So they didn't talk to him because someone, talk to him like that. Because they don't feel safe or don't feel like they can tell him stuff. So see, he sees it one way, but according to Dee, Star didn't already let her know that this is how she feels. She didn't feel comfortable letting him know. So... and then So Gucci talks about the whole relationship with Selena, how Selena don't like her, and how Selena going around saying that someone was telling basically turning the girls and telling their daughters, basically JJ's 3 daughters, that she's talking about Selena and she's spreading rumors and all this other stuff, and it's not true, and it's causing a rift and a problem with the children because she's saying this and Selena's telling them, and it's causing a problem. So she's saying things about them, but it's not true. And the ex-wife is basically So Gucci saying that dealing with the ex-wife is like watching paint dry on the wall, and she don't got time for it. And she's saying basically that she feels like Selena was trying to poison the girls against So Gucci, and she just really ain't with it because she loves those girls and they had a good relationship, and now she's trying to get involved and mess up what's happening, and she doesn't like that. Next scene, Tamra was talking about hosting a tailgate event. So she invited So Gucci. They show a scene of So Gucci and her at the radio station because she did an interview with So Gucci. I guess because she's doing really good with her realtor thing, or it could be for her fitness that she's doing. So Gucci was invited and showed up. So Tamra didn't invite Latrice. According to Latrice, she said she wasn't invited. And Letitia said she didn't get an invite either. Akeisha said she didn't go because she didn't want to go, and Marie was invited. And Marie said she didn't go because of last season. They all said that, after the lies and things that she did at the reunion, finding out that she was, lying about a lot of stuff, that they look at her a certain kind of way. And I can agree. From what I see, Tamra's not being upfront and honest. She's telling people information, but she's not telling things fully. And then when you ask her stuff, it's like she's trying to be secretive about stuff, or it's just she ain't being 100. And Tamra is, coming off she's fake, phony. You can't trust nothing that comes out her mouth. She's not a very trustworthy person, and I wouldn't mess with her either. Because first of all, you sitting here saying that Akeisha said that they ugly, but you can't prove that it was said. You just saying it's said, and then when they ask her, it's just oh, I didn't say that. And it's just man, but you did tell them that. You told both Marie and her. And you sat at some table with them telling them information about how Akeisha feels like she's better than you guys and all this other stuff and all of this. And then when you question at the reunion, you want to change your tune and all of this. And I'm just okay, girl. You showing a two-facedness, a fakeness, a liar. You're a pathological liar. You're showing the pathological liar side, ma'am. You gotta get a little bit better, cause no, ma'am, I couldn't deal with you. I couldn't be friends with you. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry. So next thing, So Gucci met this guy named Quasi, that's supposed to be her manager. So Gucci's there with her daughter Dee, and Dee asks where Damon to the mom because they walked away. Tamara walked away with Quasi, and then Dee asks, where's Damon? And so Gucci says she never sees Damon with Tamara. And then Gucci came for the good game, the game that they were having. She really didn't come because she's, really all that cool with Tamara. She just came because she wanted to go to the event. And she likes football and things like that. So she enjoys it and things of that nature. So that's the reason why she went. So my whole thing is, it seems like maybe Demond And Tamara about to be over because from last episode she barely at home because she got to work. When she do come home, she don't really seem like she enthused to spend time with him, and then it seems like she wants to move out. So I think she ain't really interested in that relationship, and she might be in like talking to old boy, this crazy, this crazy dude. So next scene, Cliff and JJ are hanging out. Brought some jerky to share over here, Mr. JJ. So Cliff said that because JJ brought up the whole thing with So Gucci and Latrice, and she said, she did her dirty. She's finding her a property, and next minute she see online that she already signed up with a property, and then the Cliff is like, and that's an issue. And JJ saying that he feels like Latrice did So Gucci wrong, and Cliff is like, that's not what it is. It's just that business and friendship don't mix. And my whole thing is, I'm sorry, Cliff, I don't agree. First of all, you say you were gonna sign with her and and needed her to help you with the property, so she gave you one property. Now, if you needed it at a certain date, did you not discuss that with her? Like, what was it? If you wanted her to move quick, you needed more offers, more stuff, then you should have said something instead of just, I'm just gonna go with someone else. And then if you want to go with someone else, you should have let her know you went with someone else. Not, I'm not gonna say nothing, and then she find out online and feel slighted and feel like she got a problem with you because of the simple fact that you didn't let her know. And I just feel like Cliff, of course he's gonna stand behind this woman because he feel that way. But my whole thing is, you already called your woman a snake though, Cliff. So your wife is a sneaky person. She do things underhanded, and you know that. You already called her last episode a snake. So you already know she's wrong, and I agree with JJ. I'm sorry, she did So Gucci wrong. She should have came at it a whole different thing. If you needed her to move faster and get you more properties, you could have easily opened your mouth and said that. Like, you don't go behind somebody's back and say, I'm going with you, and then go find another realty agent. Don't say nothing, and she got to find out online that you went with another agent and find another property. You could have just easily just told her that. It was a very simple thing to do. Like, easily, if you feel like she's moving slow, you could have articulated that. Like, you're a snake. I'm sorry, girl. You're a very sneaky person. Because for me, I'm not going to do that to someone I consider a friend. Like, you doing too much, man. So Glenn shows up, and then he sits down, and then they're asking him about the whole situation with Leticia. So, and he was saying that he don't know how good it is, and that she closed on a condo, and he's been trying to give, her attention, and he hopes that he's not holding on to hope. And Cliff said, if she said move on, then do it then. Like, what's the point? And JJ asks if they're going to the baby shower with his ex-wife, and then they're like, yeah, they going. So, well, technically Cliff is going. So, next scene, I don't really feel no type of way about it. I just feel like you did it to yourself, Glenn. So you're getting repercussions of what you did to yourself. Like, you're the one who's playing games. You're the one who's doing the most. So whose fault is that now you're in a situation with your wife where she is basically going to leave you? So that's my problem with him. Like, he keeps saying he's trying to give her attention. Trying means that you're not making a true effort. It's either you're giving her attention or you're not. It's no such thing as trying. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. So for me, I'm not with Glenn because Glenn is a cheater, and he's a continuous cheater, and he can't stop it. So, and that's what he is. He thinks because he looks good that Leticia got to deal with the shit, and she don't got to deal with shit because she's a beautiful woman herself, and she about her business, and she got her bread and her bag up. So she's just as good looking as you, so she could find somebody else. You're not all that. Men think they could do whatever just because they look good, and because he's a handsome guy, he thinks he could do whatever to her, and she's supposed to accept it. No, bro. No. And that's how people catch diseases out here in these streets. A woman sitting here sleeping with you, and you keep giving her these stories that you ain't doing stuff, and you really is, and then she catch stuff. That's how people catch STDs and HIV, because of the sneaky stuff he's doing. Like, no, I can't mess with Glenn. Glenn, you're sneaky. Sorry, boo. Next scene, Josh is like crying or talking to old girl and Latrice, and he's telling her how he got into it, and he was pointing at me and saying disrespectful things. He's basically talking about when they were at the restaurant the other day. Like, I thought it was a new thing. It was, and saying disrespectful things. Josh is saying that, am I safe here? And because and he was like crying. I just feel so uncomfortable after how he was talking and how he was cursing and how mad he was. And my whole thing is, Josh, the things you were saying is the reason why he reacted like that. You shouldn't have been saying what you're saying. You're a very outspoken person. You're outspoken to the point where you don't care what you say. Some people are not willing to accept that, and that's her husband at the end of the day. And you're living in their home as well, like they said, rent free. So you have to have respect for. You have to put some respect on his name. He is her husband, oh boy. Put some respect on that name and know that that's her husband. At the end of the day, she's going to take his side regardless. So just because she come to you about stuff and say how she feeling and how uncomfortable she is in her marriage, that don't give you a right to dog her husband, because at the end of the day, she's still going to be with her husband. You can dog him all you want. She's still going to be with him. That's how it works. People will vent to you all day, but they won't leave their situation, though. So you have no right to open your mouth and be saying what you're saying. You're going way too far. And I understand you feel away, because a lot of times when I had friends, they tell me about their man, and the way they man was dogging them, I was just in my head like, girl, what? You let him do what to you, girl? I'd be like, ooh, let a man have done that to me, he'd have been finito. He'd have been cut off. I would have blocked him, because he don't deserve me. You doing all of that? Oh, no, you accepting too much. But did I say anything to her? No, that's what she chose to do, because people have free will. And they know when it's going to be too much for them and what they can handle and what they can't handle. This is a decision they make, and you can't say nothing, because they always shoot the messenger. Whoever sells them something, even if it's the truth, they always going to shoot the messenger. They always are. So he was just like sad and everything. He was crying. They both were crying. And then, Latrice said, no, I stand on my own 2 feet, and he don't have anything to do with my business. So I want to say sorry on my husband's behalf and for how he made you feel. And I don't want you to feel away because of Cliff. She was crying, and Josh is really crying too. And Latrice says that she has to be for her husband, though. Like I said, that's the reason why when your friend comes to you and vents to you about their significant other, even if you witness their abuse, you don't get involved. I'm sorry. Like, you can say how you feel, but he was going above and beyond saying it. And my whole thing, above and beyond telling. And my thing is, I don't go above and beyond for no friend, because at the end of the day, women a lot of time are pick-me's, and they'll pick their man. They'll be telling you all of this. You'll tell them the positive thing to do, and then they'll sit there and turn on you and then tell their man what you said, and then the man will come after you and try to do something to you and be mad at you for you trying to be there and be a friend. See, that's why you stay the hell out of it. Latrice has to make the choice to get out of that situation. You can't be in it no more. You got to get that. And Latrice says she has to be for her husband, but be a good friend. And she said that she feels that if she doesn't say anything, it'll get better. And Josh feels that she talks about issues but goes back on it. And he said that I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'll be there for you, but I don't want no parts of it no more. And thank you. This is what I'm saying, Josh. He finally got it through his head that he can't get involved, because he gets involved, he's going to be the one that gets hurt at the end. He's going to be the one that's going to get called out and cut off and told, get the F out of here. That's my husband, and you in no way. Even though they coming to you talking cash money shit about their husband, dogging him out like crazy, but you'll get the benefit for being too vocal and saying how you feel too much. And that's the thing you can't do. You just have to just let your friend make the decision. Let her suffer. If she suffers, she suffer. This is a choice she made. She gotta stand, like she said, she stand on her square and stand on her 2 feet. She gotta stand on her 2 feet when it comes to her husband too, and stand up to him and not allow him to continue to keep doing what he's doing to her. That's all. Next thing, so Gucci is setting up for her boot camp, and she's having like a class outside, and she invited the girls. And Z is saying that Quasi is like talking to her mom about the event. She's saying that Quasi is Tamara's man, not her manager, and she's telling JJ, her stepdad, and her mama. And I'm just like, girl, you a little bit messy this episode, girl. Since you popped out that baby, you not so upset. You feeling shady. You been shady, mom. This Miss D over there, Miss Shade Queen over there. She been shady, messy. And Tamara showed up to the event, because she's like, she showed up for my event, so, I got to return the favor. Can't miss out on my sister's event. And I'm like, okay, girl. That's good. So Gucci is telling Tambra that Latrice called on a property with someone else instead of her. So she feels away. And I'm just like, okay, girl, you're going to have to talk to old girl, because you're going around telling too many people and it's going to get back to her. And you know it's going to cause conflict. So I guess. And you know Tambra, you know how she is, Miss Water, Can't Hold Water. You know she's going to end up saying something or something like that and not telling the full story. So you already know. You already know it's going to be a problem, honey. And Letitia shows up and she didn't know about, Tamara coming. So she just looking like, okay. And she just looking like, oh, okay, Tamara here. And she just looking at her funny. And I'm like, uh-oh. She looking at you funny, girl. She looking at you funny. So she basically thinking that the thing is yoga. Then So Gucci burst her bubble talking about, girl, this is boot camp. She said, boot camp? That sounds kind of crazy. It is crazy, girl. Boot camp is very strenuous, very hard, very tough. So she's basically like, oh, hell no, girl. I thought this was yoga. So while they start the class, and then guess who shows up? Latrice showed up late, and she's like, glad I showed up. I really wasn't trying to come because the girls always have an issue with everything I do, no matter what. No, the girls have a problem with you because you're fake, Latrice, and you're a snake, like your husband said, and like everybody is saying, because you say one thing and do another. Just like with the whole Marie situation with the hair, how you handled that, how you were talking about her with the other young lady that was on the show originally from first season, and how you talked cash money shit about her in front of her. And then she called you out on what you said, and then called you about the kind of hair that she received from your store, how it wasn't good quality, and you got all mad instead of being like, you know what, you could have got it in the way you had that attitude where you came at Marie. It was too much, and you really were thinking that you all that, like you a pretty woman and everything, but you do act like a snake because you say one thing and then do another, and it's just too much. Cannot deal with you, girl. I don't kind of like, I think you're a nice person, but you kind of like cutthroat to people for no reason. You come at people for no reason, because the way you came at Marie at first was like really rude, talking about her hat and shit first season. Like, you were doing a little bit too much. And still to this day, like, Marie don't like you, and I can understand why, because you were doing too much. You're acting like you cannot have bad hair product. As a person that sells hair, there can be a bad batch of hair. You never know. But instead of just being like, you know what, let me look into it, you got all attitude. Oh, you ain't talking about my hair. You didn't get it from my store. Like, being extra and crazy. So yeah, Latrice, like, no. And now in this situation with Gucci, how you were she was doing something for you, spending her time and hours working on it, trying to find you properties, but instead of telling her that you needed her to move a little bit faster and communicate, you just like, I'm just gonna go to someone else. Fuck it. Not even let her know, and she got to find it on the internet. That's why she feels away. Like, you're not understanding that. So I don't know what to tell you. So Letitia is tight, because anyway, it's tight during the workout. It's so hot out. She's like, oh no, girl, I don't do jumping jacks, honey. You see this late front? My glue is coming. My glue is burning out. It's coming off, and because it's so hot out here, I'm like, girl, if you do yoga outside, it's still hot. So either way, I'm like, okay, girl, I cannot. So during that time, they thought Marie wasn't showing up. Oh yeah, Marie showed up, and she said, I can't stand lying Tamara and snake Latrice. Latrice said the BBL is BBL, and I'm like, girl, why are you act like you don't like it? You say you don't worry about it. Every time you come, you got snide remarks, Miss Latrice. Even if she do got a BBL, leave the girl alone. The hell? Hating ass. I can't stand Latrice, man. She does too much. Girl, bye. Nothing wrong with her, but the BBL is BBLing. Girl, be quiet. You killing me. You sitting there worried about that. You need to worry about your husband and how he treating you every day and talking down to you and grabbing you up and yoking you up every night. You need to worry about that while you talking about other people's BBLs. Girl, go sit down somewhere. Next scene, Tamara, like, they finished the class is done, and then Tamara acts like was talking to talking to, basically asking Marie, like, you always go to my events. What happened? Why you didn't show up? So Marie was finna tell her, and all of a sudden, this old girl, Latrice, come near there, and then she said, you know what? I'm walking away because there's no way ever I'm finna Desi say anything around this snake over here, Latrice. She's, okay. And she basically was saying that she didn't go to the event because she feels like Tambra is a liar and that she's moving foul. And she basically refuses to have any convo around Latrice because she does not care for Latrice, and she just feels like she's a snake in the grass and she doesn't like her. So then Latrice in the confessional is like looking because Letitia's like, where's Marie? What she doing? She said, oh, she don't like that I'm here, but I don't care about her. I don't care what she feel about me. All right, so they talking. So Letitia and Latrice are talking to Tamara, and they talking about they didn't get an invite. They like, what happened to our invite? Because we didn't receive nothing. And then Letitia like, I didn't even know there was even an event to begin with. So I don't even know what you're talking about. And then Tamara had the nerve to try to blame So Gucci, talking about, oh, well, I told So Gucci. And they was like, oh, you told So Gucci. And then you told Marie. That's not inviting us, though. She said, oh, well, I thought if I told So Gucci, she was going to just hand the olive branch to everybody. And they was going to tell her. I was like, you know what? That don't make no sense, Tambra. When you have an event somewhere, you let the people know yourself. So you invite everybody yourself. How is So Gucci supposed to know that you want them to go to the event? Because after the reunion, everybody been giving you cold shoulder and feeding you dust. They haven't been messing with you. So she didn't know if she was supposed to tell them or not. That's why you should invite them personally yourself. What are you talking about? She was killing me. It's like, how are you putting this off on So Gucci? Nah, that was on you, honey. I'm so sorry. And basically they were both saying, Letitia and Latrice were saying that you called Marie, and then Tambra's like, I saw So Gucci at an interview. That's how I was able to invite her, Well, she said you both let them know, invited them, but you didn't invite us. So you just said you didn't invite me. And she said, I'm just tired of playing this connect this dot stuff with her. And she just walked away from Tambra because she said, I don't have time for this with you, girl. Good night. So next scene, I'm just like, I'm with them though. It's just like, baby girl, stop blaming So Gucci. This is your event. You should have invited them. Point blank period. How you blaming So Gucci and making it So Gucci's problem? See what I'm saying? She wishy-washy. She flippy-floppy. All over the place. Cannot with her. Cannot with her. Next scene, Selena. The baby shower is happening. And Star is having a boy. So JJ is hype. And Selena's hosting the event. And gave Star a stack of money. It wasn't a big stack, but at least it was some money. That was cute. So Gucci said that she's just coming to give an olive branch and to show Star that she's here for her and that she's always going to be there, because she doesn't want her to think that she's turning her back on her or anything like that. And especially with the stuff that's going around, making it seem like she doesn't care for them or something like that. That she been talking about, Selena and stuff like that. So, so Selena's. So guess who pops up? Latrice pops up at the event. She got invited, and then she claims that she's been friends with Selena for some years. And then Tamara knows she's been friends with her for years, and they always been cool. And Tamara talks about, oh yeah. And then she pops up too. And then Tamara's like, oh, I know Selena from working on a show with her, so you already know. And I'm just like, wow, I wouldn't have thought they knew Selena, but okay. Selena started talking to So Gucci, and she'll bring her lemonade because she was saying, I'm thirsty. Everybody was talking about they was hungry. It was very unorganized. Nothing was set up correctly. So everybody was just like, so that's what So Gucci said. This stuff is unorganized, and my daughter, and everything's in lawn chairs. When I had my event for my daughter, she was in king and queen chairs. That's how you do things. Sliding Selena, which is kind of true. You should have nice chairs for your daughter to sit on because she is pregnant. You need to sit on something comfortable. Them lawn chairs are not comfortable because I've sat on lawn chairs. Them plasticky seats are so uncomfortable and annoying. And if it's hot, they are really irritating. They stick to your skin and stick to your clothes. It's very not very accommodating and nice. So I understood what she was saying. Like Selena, and then JJ was sliding her being messy, talking about Selena always late. He said she's 8 years late to the divorce. I was like, JJ, you are so messy. I was dying. I said, I'm done with you. I'm done. And then so Gucci looked at and saw Latrice. Latrice came near, and then so Gucci's like, I'm surprised you here, Latrice. What? She said, I've been knew Selena for some time. And then Latrice in the confessional being shady didn't say it to her face because she a punk like usual. Got snide remarks in the confessional, but you didn't say it to her face, boo, because she would have gotten that ass. That's why. Talking about she need to worry about Selena and the fact that JJ still want her and the fact that her Kegels ain't working. Sitting here doing all that workouts, I bet them Kegels ain't working because he ain't wanting you. He want my girl Selena. And I'm like, how you know that? I'm like, see, being messy. Doing too much. You sitting here talking about other people's stuff, and your stuff it must be working too much because your husband is on you like white on rice and won't leave your side. He on some stalker level, psycho level. You need to worry about your situation. Don't worry about other people, your friends, husband, and their situation. You need to worry about yours. And back to your husband is joking your ass up every day. You look, I'm thinking he be beating your ass. Allegedly, he probably whooping your ass. The way it seems, the way they talking and scared to talk about what it is at home. Josh is afraid to say what it is. He probably whooping your ass, sis. So you need to worry about yours. Don't worry about Selena. And so Gucci, I really doubt that he's still messing with Selena. Okay, so chill out. They don't even seem like they even like each other anymore. I think you're reaching and you're going too far, Miss Girl. But let somebody talk about your zaddy. You'll be all up in arms. Look at you, shady queen. So next episode, they step out basically. So Latrice and So Gucci gonna have their words and talk about how she feeling, why she got a problem with her, and then they're gonna have some type of fight or argument between Selena and So Gucci. So this is gonna be very interesting because she's probably gonna say some off the wall shit about him. JJ still wanted her because she said in the confessional. She probably gonna say it to her face when they talk outside. So that's what's gonna happen next episode. And if you like the episode, you like how I'm going about it this time around because I changed it up a little bit, gave y'all a little bit more. Like, it's kind of how I talk with my girlfriend. So I'm going to start doing my videos like this a lot more. So this is your girl, Goddess Galaxy. And let me know, comment, and subscribe to my channel for more content. And let me know how you enjoy it. And talk to you later, YouTube.